Hey guys, so good to see you all here again, and thank you so much for joining me earlier this morning or evening, if wherever you are around the world, for the Feng Shui and Astrology 2023 World Edition. And thank you for posting your questions for me on the Telegram, and I have selected quite a number of the, I think, common questions, frequently asked questions based on day one of the Feng Shui and Astrology session this morning or this evening if you're watching it from the States. And I will post my answers right here. And of course, if you have more questions right now about day one of the World Edition, go ahead and post it on the comment section right here on YouTube or on Facebook if you're watching from Facebook. Okay, sorry about the hair. I took a nap after the morning session, so didn't bother to comb it. All right, so okay, so I just wanted to say hello to everyone, and again, thank you for all of you guys who joined me earlier this morning. And I have chosen some of these questions, and of course, go ahead and post your questions here as well. And I will answer as many as possible. Okay? Ready? Type of one if you guys are ready. Okay, so this is from Jessica, and this question is on my Telegram channel. You could see it right here. It's posted at 10 a.m. this morning, Malaysia time. And Jessica says, I have a question about the compass. Always got confused where I should stand to face west and back east, question mark. I assume stand in the middle of the living room or any bedroom of the house. Okay, if you want to, now, to use the compass, first of all, you have to understand, are we demarcating the house to 8 quadrants? If we are looking for the 8 zones or the 8 quadrants of a house, then of course we have to stand somewhere in the middle of the house and look at the compass. You don't have to specifically face any direction because the compass will automatically align to north-south axis. And if you're using a phone compass, it just points to north, right? It tells you where north is, tells you whatever degree you are facing, okay? So after you know the degrees, then you demarcate the house to the north zone or the north area, south area, east area, west area, northeast area, and so forth. That is if you want to cut the house into 8 zones, all right? So when you want to use a specific direction for, let's say, cleansing, meditation, seeking clarity, aligning your energies, then you will go to a sector, any sector that has a correct qi or energy for that period of time. Okay, now most of the time in our events, we will give you the exact time and to be in which zone. So sometimes I would say in the east zone or west zone or the north zone and so forth. So you go to the north area or south area as prescribed. And in that area, sometimes you got to listen to instructions, right? I will tell you that you need to tap to your personal qi direction or your personal meditation direction or your personal, let's say, 9 heavens direction and so forth. If that's the case, then you need to tap in. It's like to log in. You need to plug your bag to that direction. So it's facing, your nose will go the opposite direction, okay? It is not confusing. Don't tell yourself that because you're programming yourself to be confused, right? It's not. It's generally, if your specific meditation direction for that moment in time is north, then just back towards the north. That's it, okay? Now, under very minor circumstances, maybe about 10% of the time, sometimes you have to align looking at a certain direction. Sometimes, but most of the time, when you're trying to do your meditation or you're trying to do your manifesting, you have to go inwards. When going inwards, it's always backing that direction. Okay, so I hope this clarifies once and for all. So when you're doing feng shui, you have to understand some cures, for example, is zone-based. Some manifesting is always per inwards. So you have to back towards that direction to look inwards to initiate the energy. Okay, so that's how it is done. All right, next question. Okay, guys, if you have any other questions, go ahead and post it here, and I will try my best to answer as many as possible. Next question. From William Ryan, it says, great session. The 1 to 3 p.m., that's the same everywhere. That is 1 p.m. Ireland and then 1 p.m. USA. Yes, the answer is correct. When we say a specific timing, it always refers to your local time. So let's just say the hour of the goat, which is 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., is an auspicious hour or a good energy hour. It is always to your local time. Please do not attempt to translate this time to China time, Malaysia time, or any other time. Okay, so it is always your local time. So do not convert the time to Malaysia time or China time when you're doing your activation or manifesting. Okay, so please follow your local area. All right, so someone also asked by extension, when you say February 4th of 2023 is a transition to the year of the water rabbit, and we say about 10:40 a.m. Is it Malaysia time? It's in Malaysia or anywhere in the world, as long as the local place reach 10:44, it will transit to the year of the water rabbit. Okay, so it's always wherever you are around the world. Understand now? The local time. Okay, so here's another question from Marianne. Thanks for the wonderful session. Can you also discuss a bit about lucky charms, lucky wallet colors, and the likes? Now, in Feng Shui, there is a common misunderstanding that certain lucky items, such as lucky charms and lucky objects, need to be placed or utilized in order to usher in good luck. Now, these items, for example, gold ingots, or they have lucky bamboos, or they have the mystic knot, for example, and then you have gold ingots and gold coins and one-legged toads and stuff like that. So all these so-called charms are commercial products or decoratives that are largely seen during Chinese New Year. They are just decoratives that have good meaning, right? But in reality, they are nothing more than decoratives, because it's just decoration that is based on a festive season. But a lot of times in the West, they have assumed that this symbolic festive season, or like Chinese New Year items that you place, is going to be ushering good luck. So it's going to be Feng Shui items. And so if you use it throughout the year, you're going to have good luck. It is absolutely untrue. Now, why is that so? Because first of all, it is just made of plastic. It doesn't emit any special vibrational energies. It's just plastic, okay? And secondly, it is only relevant to Chinese culture. And if you're not Chinese culture, this one-legged toad is a disabled toad, okay? It's not going to do anything for you. And plus, the most important thing is this. A lot of this Feng Shui or metaphysics has to be traced back to the original scriptures. The original scriptures from the Ming Dynasty, Qing Dynasty, Tang Dynasty, 1,000, 2,000 years ago. None of these scriptures in Feng Shui that you study if you're a student of Feng Shui mention about a three-legged toad or gold ingots that you need to place around the house. So these items are merely cultural items that people use maybe in festive seasons. But because it is this massive confusion or misunderstanding, people assume that the bamboo plants that you put in the house is going to be a Feng Shui item. It is not. Okay, it is not. The bamboo plants is a Chinese New Year item. Okay, so after Chinese New Year, we throw them away. All right. So in fact, it's just for decoratives. So please don't confuse this two. Right. And same thing with a lucky wallet color. The color of your wallet is not going to make a difference in your actual wealth. All right. It's not going to make a difference in your actual wealth. What is inside your wallet is more important, isn't it? Right? So it's not it's a misconception, please. Okay. So in Feng Shui, if you truly want to follow Feng Shui, it is direction and location. Just these two forces. Direction is alignment, and location means which zone has what type of energies. That's it. So none of these actually need to have any lucky charms or any lucky wallet colors and so forth. So Marianne, I hope you understand now that these are not important except if you're celebrating Chinese New Year. Okay. So next question here. As Grand Duke is in the east in 2023, I know it's best not to use a door in that direction during that year. First of all, your knowing not to use the door in direction that year is a wrong assumption. I'll correct that in a short while, okay? Is it problematic to use a door in the opposite direction? Is it problematic? I don't know. It's your house, okay? Should someone avoid these directions to position head to sleep in either direction due to Grand Duke in west and Grand Duke axis? Okay, I roughly know what you're asking. So let's just talk a little bit about the concept of Grand Duke or Tai Sui in Feng Shui. Now, how do you calculate or assess where is the Tai Sui? Tai Sui, and many people who practice Feng Shui know that this is the so-called strongest energy for that direction in that particular year. So in the year of the rabbit, it will be in the rabbit direction. In the year of the dragon, it will be in the dragon direction. In the year of the snake, it will be in the snake direction. And these direction has a compass direction, like rabbit is in the east 2 or the east direction. Dragon is somewhere in southeast, is the first 15 degrees of southeast. And then snake will be the third 15 degrees of southeast quadrant. And horse will be in south 2 or center of a south direction, for example. So in that animal sign of the year, that direction is where the strongest energy will reside. So people, the old days, call this the Grand Duke, okay, Tai Sui. So many people have an assumption that, okay, if this is the Tai Sui, I cannot use the door in that quadrant because then I might offend the Grand Duke. I cannot have facing, I cannot look at the direction because the Grand Duke get pissed off at me and punch my face because it's the Grand Duke direction. And if I go the opposite direction, it's the opposing direction, and so it will also piss off the Grand Duke and so forth. It's called the Soi Po direction and so forth. Listen, it's not like that, okay? It's the Grand Duke is not a large version of an angry human being that is going to be pissed off with you because they have this human emotion of anger and wrath that if you look at that direction, he'll punch your face. That is an assumption, but it's not true, okay? The Grand Duke is just an elemental energy that is coming from the direction. And in the old days, that direction, because it's intense, and if a person is of an older, senior age, right, twilight years of his or her life, then it is easier or it's more prone to, because it's too intense, some people might have accidents or they might be prone to injuring themselves or having a fall in the house and so forth, okay? If you are of reasonable good health, in fact, the direction of strong energy is actually good. It intensifies your ability to concentrate, to focus, to be able to do more things and add more value into life. So it doesn't matter. So Grand Duke direction is not that scary, okay? It's not like, oh, I cannot face the direction. It will be the wrath of the Grand Duke is going to be that. No, this is very old wives' understanding of Grand Duke, okay? In fact, it's good to have a Grand Duke direction that you access because, hey, this is your time to shine. If you want the extra energy so that you can perform better, you become more animated, you have energy to do your work, then, you want a Grand Duke direction. The only thing is, when there is massive renovation, not small renovation, massive renovation and earthworks in the Grand Duke direction of the year, then the energy is interrupted because this is an earth-based energy. And then, and only then, there could be possible, if you're prone to that sort of, your health is not so good, then there will be hospitalizations or injuries and so forth. So, but if you live a more conscious or a mindfulness life, then accidents will be less because you're more conscious, right? You're not so blurred, and you start moving, your body hasn't moved, and then an accident happened, right? So that all depends on your own awareness. So it's not always a bad thing. Okay, I hope you understand now. So this is from March Chen. Okay, now guys, if you have any more questions, go ahead and post here and I will answer as much as possible. Okay, so March Chen. What's the simplest way to keep in mind when talking about auspicious directions? For example, east should be automatically say that we should facing the opposite direction. March, I think when we are talking about facing direction, we are referring to Feng Shui setups. That would be called long-term Feng Shui setup. For example, a door orientation is called facing. A house orientation is called the facing of house. That way is to align towards a view. So normally it's referring to a house, okay? And also for certain traditional prayers, then they want to orientate to face a certain star, for example, okay? Now, if you're practicing mindfulness, if you're practicing meditation, if you're practicing internal energy cultivation, chi, harnessing the chi, aligning heaven, earth, man, and spirit, that's an internal thing. You're awakening your own third eye. The third eye is the ability to see inwards to your true self. That orientation direction is to back towards that direction. Okay, so depending on where the direction that you want to back towards, because sometimes at a certain point in time, time, space, energy align, the energy is there. So you sit toward that direction, sit with the back towards the direction you're sitting on. So it's an internal activation. So in the bottom line, it's a question of whether you want to tap to external or tap to internal. If you're talking about awareness, consciousness, mindfulness, that's internal activation. That's why you're sitting towards the direction. Okay, so I can't say what do you automatically face or automatically say, because when you use the word automatic, is basically lazy. You are saying, I don't want to be conscious, I want to be unconscious and do shit. All right, I don't want to think about it. So listen, you're given the power to think, the freedom, the free will to think. So if you're conscious about it, you make less mistakes. So just be conscious of what is that specific direction that you need to use at a certain point in time. In fact, people will say, I want to develop good habits. I want to develop a habit. Automatically, I will be like this. You're just saying, I want to be lazy and not think about shit, right? You can't do that. Habits imply unconscious living. Habits imply you're unconscious about what you do. You just do it automatically. While some might be beneficial, but mostly they're not. So if you say you don't want bad habits in life because bad habits is bad, then you got to be conscious about it. So at the same time, you also don't need good habits because you got to be conscious about whatever you want to do. And if you're conscious about what you want to do, that means you're aware that every decision making and towards what outcome that you want, your whole life will be better. And that's the whole idea of understanding BaZi or Feng Shui. The idea of accessing the energy consciously. Okay? All right. So here's another question from Johnny Quack. Is it okay to mount TV in 2023? It's on the east wall of the living room. Been holding back because I don't want unintentionally activate negative energy. Again, refer to my previous answer for the Grand Duke, because he is asking a question. The east has the Grand Duke direction in 2023. But here's the thing, prior to February 4th of 2023, it's still the year of the tiger. So you can mount whatever TV you want to mount. Okay. All right. So I have covered the questions that I thought is quite interesting from the Telegram, but I will now answer some of the questions that you guys have posted in the comment section right here. Okay. So go ahead and post some questions here. Okay, let me see. Thank you for this meeting. Can we have more details about excess of metal? What do you mean by excess of metal? That's the thing I need to first clarify with you. Did you mean you have strong metal in your chart? Okay. Now you see, 5 elements in a person's chart basically represents 5 types of vibrational energies. So these 5 types of vibrational energies, metal can represent one aspect. For example, receptiveness or perception, the power of perception in a particular year for you. Okay, so I need to know whether you are referencing this in context of the year or in context of your permanent chart, because some people might have excess metal only on a certain year, but not every single year. If you're referring to this year in particular, for example, then you are talking about the idea of perception. Now, there's 2 opposing forces, yin and yang, when it comes to Feng Shui, right? The yang and yin. Yang is expression, right? Your opinions, your expression. And then the yin side will be the perception, okay? So depending on what the element of the year is, these items can change in terms of reference to elements. But in this period of time, metal represents perception. Now, you may say, perception, is it important? Yes, because the quality of your life depends on how you perceive the external events and the internal respond to those events in your life. When somebody says something to you, will you get upset or triggered depends on how you perceive whatever that person says, right? Now, right now, you're understanding whatever I'm talking because I'm speaking in English. If I speak to you now in Cantonese, then I would just be uttering some weird sound to you. Even if I am insulting you and talking something bad about you, you probably don't understand it. So it means nothing to you because you don't perceive it as being an insult. But if you understand it and you perceive it in that way, that, oh my God, this guy's insulting me, right? So perception is the internal quality and your awareness of how energies are in terms of your life, okay? So if you have access of it, that means it's heightened. So some people call this empath, right? You're more empathetic, you're sensitive to other people. Now, is this good or bad? Depends on how you interpret this, right? Otherwise, you're sitting to someone who is very emotionally traumatic and you are connecting and perceiving it from that person, then you become traumatic and emotional because you're empathetic to whatever that person is. So it's important to be able to see it, but not perceive it as your own emotions because it's from somebody else. Because you say right now, you have access of metal, okay? So how do you change that? Well, awareness of it, right? You become aware of, oh shit, these emotions are not mine. I'm just downloading stuff from other people. You can isolate from it, then you won't get affected. But the problem is you identify with that person's drama. Now you become part of the drama. Okay, so that important identification of detachment is important. Okay, all right. Let's see here. My bed is in west, which is good area for me. And this year, and backs onto the west, the 3 killings this year. What do I do? Nothing. You don't have to do anything. The problem is people have the wrong perception that 3 killings direction, the samsara, you have to do something. You have to do nothing. The 3 killings is not going to go out there and then stab you in the back and kill you. No. It just means that this year you have to become more aware of the possibility of some dicey arrangements with people and possibly your own personal safety when it comes to going to dodgy areas, and or you might lose 1 or 2 items if you're not careful. Now, again, this all refers to people who are not aware. If you have narrow awareness, of course, this shit will happen because this year you are more prone to it. But if you have heightened awareness, right, you remember where your passport is, you remember to double check your bookings, you have less issues. So you don't have to necessarily change your environment. You know that sleeping in the 3 killings might be prone to this. If you're aware of it, it still cannot affect you, because if you know this cup right now is super hot, you don't touch it because you're aware of it. But you're blur, right? You touch it, oh my God, it's hot. Then it's your problem, right? Not so. That's why a lot of spiritual practitioners and guru, they're not afraid of the Feng Shui part, because that's just external influences. So if you heighten your own awareness and powers, you will be free from this, okay? Now, you may say, but I'm a blur person and I have zero consciousness ability. Can I put some wind chimes there? Whatever you want to put, whatever it helps you become more aware. Oh, it's 3 killings, I need to be more alert. That's all, okay? So the item is not the one generating the Feng Shui cure. It is you. You generate the cure, okay? Or don't sleep in the West, right? So when should I pay attention to it? When there are renovations. So when there are no ground works, earthworks, or renovations in that particular area outside of your home, most of the time the energy is very mild anyway, okay? So don't worry. Okay, so let's see. Laundry Open. Is that your name? Your name? Laundry Open. Some Feng Shui masters said that rat will get many bad luck this year, especially business. What can we do to prevent it? Is there any jewelry or specific clothes color that you need to wear? Yeah. In fact, there's a specific clothes color that you should be wearing. It should be transparent. Don't wear shit. Okay? Come on. Nothing you wear is going to ward off bad luck. First of all, there is no bad luck. The bad or good luck is generally when you get things to work your way, you will find that you are living in good fortune, correct? When you get things that don't work your way, you say your life is in bad luck. So good or bad is a definition of how you define things happening. So what you need to do, here's how Pazi works. you need to go and understand what the rat animal sign, what sort of energy it contains, before you judge the perception that rat is bad and you need jewelry, right? You don't. You first have to understand what is inside the rat. I will explain that tomorrow in my Feng Shui and Astrology Day 2 about the 12 animal signs. Or you can watch some of my videos. I've already filmed a lot of videos about the rat and all that. So, and I never say that it was bad. Only you interpret it as bad because you chose to listen to those who say it's bad, okay? So that's your problem. But here's the thing. If you know the strengths of and the weaknesses of what rat has for 2023 or whatever year you're in, and you adjust your desire or goals or plan accordingly, then more things will happen in your favor, isn't it? So when more things happen in your favor, you will say that this animal sign have good luck. When more things do not happen in your favor, you say, oh, this animal sign will have bad luck. So that's how you change it. It's got nothing to do with the colors of your clothes and the jewelry that you wear. Come on, okay? That doesn't change anything. Okay. How to activate solving legal issues in my benefit, or maybe it is already blocked. So how to unblock it? Thank you in advance. First of all, you have to understand in terms of legal aspect, what are the issues that that's being discussed at this point in time? Are you the defendant, or which position are you in? So the Feng Shui or Qi application that is done for any legal matters first have to decide where which force are you, the yang or the yin force, right? Are you on the receiving end or are you on an attacking end? Second thing, you also have to understand in terms what is the weakness in this, right? Is it witness that is the problem, or is it the documentation is the problem, or what? So from then we can understand which areas that need help. Right now you're saying that all I have to do is unblock something, but what is that something? There's so many things that could be blocked. Maybe you just have a lawyer that just doesn't see the possibility of a solution because this person is actually not a good lawyer, right? So there's so many ways that we can actually help in the situation, but first you have to really diagnose which areas need help. It's just like, is there a sector for good health? If I just use that sector and suddenly all my problems will go away. No, there are 8 sectors in your house, 24 subsectors in the house, 64 subsectors in a particular compass directions. All these points are down to pinpoint to certain health aspects. And if we don't know what is the issue, it's very hard to cure a person using Feng Shui. It's just like saying, take vitamin C and everything will be all right. In general, taking vitamin C is okay, but too much of it will cause a problem. So we need to know exactly what the issue is before we can deploy any help whatsoever when it comes to a so-called legal situation. Okay? I like this sort of questions. It says like, how do I protect themselves in the year 2023? I suppose you have to protect, first of all, you got to have an enemy, right? So who's your enemy this year? Protect from what? So is there an enemy trying to hit you? So I think protection, to define that, first you have to define what is the danger that you're perceiving in the first place. Now, let me make an assumption here that you are probably afraid of the so-called clash between the animal signs of the year, right? So rabbit and rooster is a clash. And but the moment you hear the word clash, your preconceived idea is that this clash will bring forth a lot of bad things, right? So that's why you need protection from the year. Some people think like that. Let me redefine this for you. First of all, the year energy is not set out to attack you because it doesn't like you. No, that's wrong. So you don't need protection from the year. All right. Secondly, a clash of the year implies that some things have to be forced to change this year due to external circumstances, maybe the economy, maybe the market condition, maybe the lives of your customers has changed, maybe the wants and desires have changed, so you have to change. Now, because it's a clash, it means that it's quite abrupt, right? Abrupt means the change comes quickly. Now, the thing is, are you okay with change? If you're someone that says, I'm okay with change, I'm flexible, and I'm going to take whatever is coming, gracefully and adapt to the change in fastest way possible because you are resourceful, then no protection is needed whatsoever. In fact, the only protection you need is preparation. If you're prepared for change to come and you are facilitating the change, then you actually don't need so-called actual protection, because sometimes this is where a lot of times people in Feng Shui, they will sell you items. Oh, you need this jewelry to protect you from the year because this year is out to get you. No, don't be such a victim mindset, okay? No, the year is not going against you. It's just the energy of the year. It's neither against or for you. It's like the ocean, right? They have tides, right? You have tides, you have waves. The waves do not really care about you, nor does it hate you. If you understand the nature of the tide and the waves, you will ride the waves. If you don't understand the nature of the tide waves, it will slam on you and smash you to the bottom of the ocean. That's all. So your job is to understand, okay, there's a change coming. Let me get prepared for it. Understand what in terms of business or relationships, depending on whatever the so-called animal sign that you need so-called preparation in. And when you've done the preparation, then all this coming becomes an opportunity because you're going to ride the wave and enjoy the ride. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this session here. All right. Many countries tell us that without a pagoda or wulo, we are in trouble. They're trying to sell you the pagoda and the wulo, okay? Come on. Listen, Feng Shui items such as pagodas and wulos they are not really Feng Shui items in the ancient days, because in ancient days when Feng Shui was originally created, according to the original transcripts, the original text from Feng Shui, none of them mention the use of any of these items. These items are generally more 21st century Chinese culture, right? They like to paint this stuff and have items like that in their home, but it's more like culture. It's not Feng Shui. People tend to blend the two, and then since it makes money, if you sell to some Westerners some pagodas, why not, right? So some people do that. So when you buy these items, buy it because you really like pagodas, and maybe it's a souvenir, but don't do that if you have no idea what it is. It's not necessary. It doesn't even change any of your Feng Shui at all, okay? Okay, let's see what other questions here. This one. Will making deposits in Lichun really help your fortune in the coming year? Listen, guys, the biggest and funniest misconception of so-called Feng Shui practices is that a person needs to bank in money, making deposits on the first day of Lichun, which is February 4th, every single year. This is the hard belief that people say if you put in money on this time of the year, you will make a lot of money in the rest of the year. This is absolute bullshit. Okay, listen. I don't know who created this, probably in either Malaysia or Singapore, because this is definitely not a thing from any of the Feng Shui practices from traditional texts or classics of Feng Shui. Someone obviously invented this and created a lot of trouble for the banks because they're banking in money on these days. Listen, it's not about how much you put in $1, $10 and all that into your bank, and then that's a symbol of making money. No, I think good business practice, right? Proper business strategies. If you use the good date, and February 4th can be used on a certain practice. In fact, February 3rd is a better day for this sort of manifesting. You could actually use the day to plan out and then visualize to manifest what is the exact outcome that you want for the year. It's way better than trying to deposit make-believe money into your bank and hope that it will double up your money. It doesn't. Don't create trouble for the banks. People who do that, I mean, if you do it for fun, it's all right, but you look at these people who go in there banking $10, the banks will look like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Listen, don't do that and cause problems, yeah? It has zero impact on your actual wealth. If you want to change your wealth, manifest the plan for the year and then focus on gaining clarity or cleansing out negative energies internally, gaining clarity on what exactly that you want to do to increase your income, and then initiate the plans on selected good dates throughout the year, and you will get that. Okay, you're way better than you trying to do this stupid banking on Lee Chun Day. There's zero impact. Okay. Let's see. So many of the questions here. Wow. I am building a house this year. Please, can I have some guidance on what should I look into? You should look into a good architect. Okay. Let's see. I would like to ask, my hour pillar is Rooster. Am I considered Fan Tai Sui? I don't like to use the word Fan Tai Sui or offending the Grand Duke just because there is the animal sign of the rabbit in the animal sign of a rooster in the rabbit ear. It means there are changes in terms of that particular aspect of that person's life. So in this case here, Wong, our pillar is Rooster, and our pillar represents investments. It could mean that some of that this year there'll be an opportunity for you to sell or let go of some assets to cash out. So if that's what you're planning to do, then this will be great, regardless of whether it's Fan Tai Sui or not. Fan Tai Sui is just a term to say you are the opposing animal sign for the animal sign of the year. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for all your questions that you guys have been posting, and I hope that you enjoyed this little quick Q&A. Again, tomorrow is day 2. Day 2 will be focusing on Bazi astrology, the 12 animal signs in your destiny chart. So if you are ready tomorrow, make sure you print out all your destiny charts or your Bazi charts of your friends, your families, and all your enemies as well, because it's going to be a fun session. This is Feng Shui and Astrology 2023 for the World Edition. So the details for this would be on the comment section and or on the previous post that you see right here on Telegram. Don't miss day 2 and day 3 because I'm going to address period 9. I'm going to address the transition in the new cycle. How do you prepare for it in the next couple of days? And I'm going to finish up with the special timing based on Qi for your manifesting, clearing of negative energy, activating intuition, and so forth. So it's going to be super exciting next couple of days. So the timing is already on the website, so please check it. Again, there is a version where you could watch it for free, and there's a version where if you want replay, you can buy the VIP ticket or the elite ticket, then you can actually get a replay for this, okay? So if not, you want it for free, then you got to watch it live tomorrow, okay? So it's Malaysia time or Singapore time at 7 a.m. because this is addressing for Europeans as well as our tribe members from the America. So we're going to follow this time because it's the time that we get most people to watch. I'm sorry if this doesn't fit to some countries. It's not meant for people here in Malaysia because some Malaysians are saying, why 7 a.m.? Because I'm catering for Americans, for people in London, and also people in Australia. So it's very hard to get one time to fit everybody, okay? All right, so if you want to watch the replay for it, there is a link in the comment section that you can see, and you can actually purchase the VIP to watch the replay, okay? Thank you so much, and keep posting your questions on Telegram, and watch the previous videos that I've already posted on my YouTube on the 12 animal signs. You got to watch that first to get all the details about the 12 animal signs for the year. And then tomorrow when I'm doing the live stream of my event, you will actually be able to understand it much better and participate and ask much better questions and gain more out of that session. Thank you so much, and I shall see you tomorrow.